Hello everyone, it is Zigzag here. Welcome back to another Geoguessr video. We're back on the road to 100 countries in a row this evening. I'm working a 9 to 5 at the moment for a few weeks, and so for that reason, the editing will be a little bit more sparse. Don't have quite as much time to do that, but I'll still try and get the daily videos to you. Also, some sad news is that my Nana looks like she'll pass away in the next few days, maybe even today. And so if you are the praying type, do send some prayers over to her. And you know, Nana, she always really liked to read the comments on this channel, so no doubt at some point throughout the channel's history I've read out one of your comments to her or something like that, and you know, she always loved how positive and stuff everyone was. So yeah, let's get straight into today's video after that somber note and see how we can do here. Let's see if we can hit that 100, and hopefully my recording software doesn't crash, because my whole computer just crashed before I was taking the first attempt at this. So let's see what we got going on here. We do have a black sticker on the pole here, so this one should be somewhere in Malaysia. A nice little start when you see that. Always pretty much guarantees the country. I think this one will be Austria. The yellow and red chevrons I do think are an Austrian thing. Not to mention that on some of these boards we have a little black hat, like Lego piece at the top is how I like to remember it. So I do think this one will be somewhere in Austria, but you know, Slovenia is still possible here. Ends up being in Austria indeed, so a good little guess there as well. And we have a nice easy Kenya. You always like to see Kenya when you're on this kind of run, because it has the Google meta that really won't fail you ever. So before I turned around, I really thought this one would be somewhere in Italy, but we have French language here, so we don't really need to consider that anymore. And interesting winter coverage up there north of Paris. This one is kind of interesting. We've got the black car. The sun is directly north, so I think we should be somewhere in probably Argentina here, I would say. Now, could it be Peru? Yes, but I think this looks like northern Argentina, or kind of middle Argentina much more, so I'm going to go there. And yeah, we're correct, even not too far away there. So that's a nice little first seed, 22,000, always a solid score. 23,000 is when you start to get excited, but 22k is still always what you like to see as well. This one feels like South Africa, although looking at these polls, they look quite Argentinian, I would say. So why do we have a white Google car? I think it's actually, well, Lazarobenko. Interesting. That feels probably more Spanish than something you get in South Africa. Also feels like we're probably driving on the right-hand side of the road as well. So I think we're going to trust the Argentinian polls here, and we are. And we get it correct for that trust, so that's good. San Jose, so this little bit of green on the number plate would probably indicate that we're going to be somewhere in the Philippines here. Yep, we're driving around side of the road. Silver Google car as well, kind of a rare Google car. Only a few countries have it, but the Philippines is one, and we get it correct. Next one here, yellow outside lines, feels rather like the UAE, I would say here. Short plates that are white, so yeah, should be UAE, quite hilly as well. I think even just with this view, UAE would have been a pretty safe bet anyway, and we get it correct, right on the border with Oman there though. This one looks like Thailand, red soil, kind of square concrete pole, and we don't have any car meta, which is also something you see in Thailand quite a lot. Right, I did think it kind of looked like Laos, and that's why we're so close to Laos right there. This one's interesting. We got the concrete road. Cute little dog. I feel like I've had this round before. I think I recognize this good little boy. But this one should be somewhere in Philippines again, I think. Yeah, green number plate once again. So where is this? Super high mountains for Philippines. Maybe it's somewhere up here. No, all the way down here. Yeah, you get mountains all over the Philippines, of course, so yeah, not really my best guesses on Philippines there, but you don't need good guesses, you just need the right country, and that's the beauty of it. So this next one's Japan, of course, low camera and Japanese pole markings, and this one feels quite, well, we have some Portuguese here with the C with the hook and the AO ending. Very Portuguese. Atencial is one of the most Portuguese looking words I think there is. We get the complete wrong side of the country again. This one is a tougher European one. No, not even. This view looked quite European, but that is a wooden pole. So North America here, probably Canada. Definitely looks to be Canadian architecture, I would say. We got front plates though, which is interesting. So maybe it is just Ontario, maybe one of the Maritimes. Can't remember which of the Maritimes have front plates, but yeah, it does not feel particularly USA to me, I must say. Just not getting USA vibes off these buildings in particular. So let's try out Ontario here, and it ends up being in Maine. Fantastic, exactly how we lost last time's country streak. So let's go in for one more here, or maybe a few more, depending on how many I get wrong. But to think we got 2 Maines in a row to end off our streaks is quite funny indeed. That one was an easy Western Australia, just I know the vibes. And wow, we're starting off with 2 Aussies here today. This one should be probably Queensland, I would say though. So here we go. These little numbers, these silver numbers, very common in Queensland polls, and this, where the silver numbers are on a black background that kind of looks like the Malaysian poll stickers, are only between Gold Coast and Brisbane. So we can safely assume we are in Queensland and between these 3 cities. And so of course it works. It always works. That's a very, very consistent tip. Single yellow line here, so should be somewhere in Canada, but of course I got that wrong last time on the main round. This one with the blue plates definitely feels probably like it could be like Toronto area, I would say, but yeah, I guess we were wrong last time, so here's to being wrong again. Nope, this one was Toronto area. Very good. Okay, this one is looking to be quite... Yeah, I would say it's quite Norwegian. That flag is a Thai flag, so maybe this is some Thai takeaway or something like that. I believe that's a Thai flag. Could be Sweden still here, so I'm just trying to see if we got any umlauts or anything like that. Or any of the, yeah, so that letter, I think both languages share that letter, to be honest. It's actually kind of difficult. There's not, normally on such rounds, there are some giveaway clues. Gata sounds more Swedish, I would say. Also, the fact that it's quite flat would also perhaps indicate Sweden. But I'm still not convinced, I must say. So, yeah. I don't know, we don't see any green number plates, we don't see any yellow filled in signs or anything like that. We do see yellow road lines here though. Okay, so I'm assuming with these yellow road lines we will actually be in Norway rather than inside Sweden. So I'm just going to go for Norway. We're early in the streak here. Ends up being, yeah, close to Sweden, but inside Norway. And this one should be a Finnish round. And so if you didn't know about the snow poles, on Finnish snow poles, they're orange all the way up, and then they have a little white dot in the top. And on Finnish, on Norwegian and Swedish ones, the white bit is towards the middle. So this one will be somewhere inside Finland, which is, you know, it's a really helpful tip actually once you commit it to memory. So there we go, starting back strong with a 5-country streak there. This one, we have Argentinian number plates with the black dot in the middle. Makes life nice and easy when you see those. You rarely ever see them in Uruguay, of course. This one's USA, we've got US flag here. Will it be Maine again? I literally got Maine vibes off that. I should have clicked up there, but it was kind of a joke. But yeah, there we go, Maine again. So I don't think I've ever seen Maine come up so much within any of my videos. But yeah, today and the last time, it has. It's reared its ugly head. This time we have some. I think that the main reason I clicked on Romania here is because I think this looks like Romanian language. So let's take a look around here. Yeah, these are Romanian signs. Oradea, I have not heard of, but it's over here, so we can click there. Ends up being 100 kilometers away. And this one looks, you often see these chevrons in Brazil, so I think we're going to be in Brazil somewhere here. Checks out for Brazil, I believe, but we actually have Thai language or something like that. Okay, so we're in Cambodia. Wow, so I did not realize that Cambodia sometimes uses the same chevrons as Brazil. That's another way in which you can confuse those two countries, apparently. So, yeah, it was Cambodian script, I believe. Yep, 25 kilometers away, even out on the outskirts of Phnom Penh. I had a dream in Phnom Penh the other day. No joke. Anyway, I've never been there, of course. Blue strip on the plate here, somewhere in Europe. We have some German here. And so, I believe we should be somewhere in Austria. Yeah, this looks like an Austrian plate. It seems to have like a red tinge to it as well. Do we see a .at anywhere here? Just to be sure. When you see this much German, and it's not low cam and it's not generation 2, then it should be somewhere in Austria. And we are correct. Okay, so that is 10 countries in a row now. Building our way back up here. Let's see. This one is going to be somewhere in Brazil. Brazilian poles, red dirt. So I'm not sure if that's a good guess. Ends up not being terrible, but in Pará there. This one looks to be Romania again, I would say. So red and white chevrons. No, it's actually Turkey. That's a Turkish city. And where is it again? I always forget. So that one's this one. Yeah, so we can just click in that kind of area there. Ends up being close. Nice. Okay, so this one is looking to be Spain. I just see 2 Spanish cars here. 1, 2, both of the Seat. Seat, I think it's Seat maybe. Yeah, it's a certain kind of Spanish car make, and so when you see 2 parked in a row, I feel like it's really quite likely to be in Spain somewhere. Still could be France here. So taking a look from French cars, and I don't see many. I do not see many French cars, so I guess Italy is kind of impossible because we have long front plates. So yeah, I think Spain is relatively safe here, and I think it would be somewhere in the north. Feels like northern Spain around here, maybe. Yep, ends up being near Madrid, so not in the north, but still a good guess. And this one's a beautiful round, actually. I like it very much. With these red and white chevrons and the white bollards here, we will be in Turkey. And we're right on the north coast in a very cool area here. So where do we go right to the water's edge? Maybe like somewhere around here is possible. We need to be right at the water's edge. Like we're surprisingly close here. So yeah, maybe this kind of area would work. Ends up being 400 kilometers away, all the way down here. This is still in Turkey, of course, so we progress. And this one... So we have 4 strikes on the crossing here, so that will be Sweden as opposed to Finland, which has 5. Although we have 5 right here. So could we be on Åland Islands here? I think we could be. Oh gosh. Blue, like license plates. I think this is Åland Islands, as far as I remember. So let's, yeah, Åland. There we go. So yeah, Åland Islands confusingly uses a mix of Swedish and Finnish signs. I was going to flex my knowledge and go straight for Sweden here because of this crossing. Luckily, I looked at the other one, and so yeah, we're going to be right there. And there we go, 8.4 kilometers away. And of course, that is part of Finland, so we would have lost otherwise. So there we go, 20,000 points, a bit of a tougher seed. That's for sure. Actually, had some tough rounds in there, but let's see what we get next. This one's going to be Ghana. I've had this round before next to this stadium. I can't remember where it was, or at least I've seen someone have it before. Would it be Accra? I think Accra's pretty safe here. Let's go for that. Yeah, it was on the coast there, so had a kind of a coastal vibe to it. This one's a cool round. I'm trying to think. I think this is South Africa, but let's take a look around, shall we? Yeah, such a cool round, actually. Wooden pole would lend itself to South Africa, I think. We've also got English here. If it wasn't for this English, I could be tempted to... I don't know where. Like, oh, I know Australia too well to think this is Australia, but... I can imagine a lot of people going Australia on this round. Also, we never do arrows like this. I don't really know like what the convention is, but in South Africa they sometimes do, I guess. And so, dryish mountains. I feel like it's kind of out this direction here, you know, but yeah, kind of these shape. These mountains kind of have the right shape, I would say. So, I'm going to go in that kind of region. Ends up being much closer to Cape Town. Still the right kind of place, but not quite perfect. Here we have the Peruvian signposts, Peruvian guardrails, Peruvian car, Peruvian blocks on the side of the road, so it all checks out for Peru right here, and we're pretty close as well. Okay, so next one we have Thai flag. Love those patriots, man. All those patriotic countries just always doing me a favor. Although sometimes it causes you to have a lapse in judgment if there is a confusingly placed flag or something like that. Anyway, this one feels like Cambodia, I would say, actually. I think these white lines, they're very short dashes in a way that you often do see in Thailand and Cambodia, and we have Thai flags, which we didn't need anyway because we're driving left-hand side of the road. But yeah, I mean, it looked quite Cambodian to me, so maybe I will just go on the border here. I think I will actually go right there. Ends up being much closer to the center of the country. So 20 countries in a row, 20,000 points there, going solidly. Let's continue it on here, see if we can make it up to at least 50. That's what I'd like. And maybe this round has other plans because this one is difficult. Croatia or Slovakia are my strong preferences here. Okay, let's see what we got going on here. Ooh, that appears to be a little bit of Cyrillic, I want to say. No, maybe it's not. Maybe it's not. It looked like it off the bat. It's a yellow sign, so these are the kind of ones you see in the ex-Balkan or the ex-Yugoslavian countries. Particularly, you see them in Montenegro, Serbia, Croatia, Slovenia. So yeah, that's the ex-Yugoslav countries. And the round itself, kind of a shoddy road. Reminds me more of Croatia than of Slovenia, maybe. Although it could really be either country here. That's the shame of it, man. It feels a bit flat, so I think I will go for Croatia on that account. But yeah, it could easily just be over the border. Yeah, like I'm just gonna click right here because I really do believe that this is kind of like one of those ones that's going to be right on the border here. Yeah, I'm happy with my decision though. There's no rifts or anything. Let's see it. Oh, it is right on the border. Thank goodness we picked the right country though. So we live another day here. Here we have a blue dot on the pole, so it should be somewhere in France. Feels very northern as well. Let's go up here. And yes, it is. Wow, that's 2 really nice guesses in a row. Definitely got the vibes right. I should try and do some more nice guesses more often, because often I just try and go for the country quickly and disregard everything else. Anywho, this one is going to be somewhere in the USA, I believe, but could still be Canada. Ruth and Naomi's Mission, 604 area code here. Do we have front plates? The pole, these fencing makes it hard to see, actually. I think we do have front plates, though. This one kind of reminds me of, like, Washington or something like that. It's a difficult round, actually. I do have the strong suspicion that it is the USA, but I couldn't rule out Canada here. I really couldn't. Yeah, okay. So I think I'll go Washington State here, so that if it is USA, if it is Canada, then I don't look so silly. Let's find out. Come on, bro. Look at these rounds, man. Chilliwack. I feel like I have been to Chilliwack. Can't remember, though. Maybe I haven't. Could just be talking nonsense. I feel like I did approach Vancouver from that way one time. But man, that's so annoying. Just trying to think back on the round 604. Maybe I did recognize that as the Vancouver kind of region. I don't think so, though. Anyway, let's go in for one more. I won't, I don't know. It's just serving me up too many hard rounds here. So let's see what we got going on now. This one should be Ghana tape here. Look at this car. Look at this car over here. Kind of totaled, bro. You could like make a demolition derby with some of these cars. It'll be fun. Okay, so other side of Kumasi. That's kind of what I expected. Next one here, going to be Lesotho. This is what Lesotho looks like, guys. Take a moment to appreciate, because that's what it is. Okay, this one's Malta, I think, actually. So, yeah. Yeah, you do see a lot of cacti on Malta as well. So, is it north or south? I think this might be the northern. No, just south. Next one here, snow poles. Locam. Yeah, we're going to be somewhere in Switzerland here. No chance of Japan, I don't think. And we're good. And this one looks like... Thai poles. No car matter. We should be in Thailand. Kind of a strange looking Thai round, so I'm wondering where it is. Maybe just somewhere up in the mountains here. No, actually just right near the Cambodian border. It does get quite hilly over here, and some mountains indeed as well. But a 23k. Wow, we're on lightning pace until I screwed up that Thailand there. Anyway, next one. It's going to be somewhere in Europe. Black-topped bollards here. I like Slovenia this time, I must say. No blue strip on the plate, interestingly. Okay, so I definitely like Slovenia over Austria here. Yellow sign in the background, maybe one of those Balkan signs that I was talking about just before. Let's go for it. Let's see it here. Yep, we are right on the border with Hungary actually, but a little bit scary, but we survive. These ones are the Albertan bollards. Let's go in the south here, near Calgary. It is near Calgary, indeed. Near Medicine Hat as well. Ooh, this looks very Mexican with the yellow painted curb. Right-hand drive. Very green as well. And we have Spanish to top it all off, so let's go over here. Yeah, not terrible. Actually, kind of in the middle of the desert there. I'm surprised it was so green. This one almost feels quite Australian. If you weren't looking at the Google car or the road lines, I can imagine guessing Australia here. But for that reason, when you see similar rounds like this, Argentina is often a good shout. Now, single yellow line is not something I ever associate with Argentina. However, the rest of the round looks so Argentinian that I'm not really worried about this being wrong at all. It's just kind of a strange coincidence or a strange happening that we have that single yellow line there. This one looks like Peru, I would say. This is not the typical Peru like signpost though. So I guess it could be somewhere in Arge. Let's see where the sun is. So sun's solidly to the north, so southern hemisphere here. But both countries are southern hemisphere, of course. Yeah, I think this is a Peruvian like markings onside the guardrail here. So yeah, relatively happy with southern Peru here. Actually, what? Man, okay, let's go check those guardrails out. So little bit of a struggle video so far today, I must say. Let's go check these ones out. So there we go, very, very similar. And very, very, I feel like this is super rare to see in Bolivia. Not to mention that, yeah, and look at this one. Okay, so it's just a super hard round, man. These ones, just when you see ones like this, you're always going to be in Peru. So I wasn't even considering Bolivia here, to be honest. And this signpost was strange. I mean, you would not normally see that in Peru, so maybe I dropped the ball in a sense with that one. Also, these poles look quite Bolivian, so in hindsight, I do think the round's gettable, but with this view in the background, I'm sure a lot of good players could agree with me that they would struggle to go outside of Peru for that round. So how long have I been recording? Yeah, we're on 20 minutes now, so I think I'll leave it there, guys. Thank you very much for watching the video all the way to the end. Man, we encountered some hard rounds today. I'm also just super tired, but yeah, I thank you guys very much for your support and for making it through to the end. I'll see you guys in a video very soon, and until then, goodbye.